Morning, everybody. Welcome to a very early morning Driving with Duck, now on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm going to keep reminding y'all of that it's in both places. If you're friends with me on Facebook, enjoy. And if you don't watch on YouTube, you better start. I made a post earlier in the week about making this particular video, and I've just been so busy working doubles, and I've been busy with family that I just haven't had the time. It was about taking that L, the drive about taking that L. And I've started this video so many times over the past week, since Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday even. And I think this morning was the day I was meant to do it. God is a funny way of putting things in your lap, but I've had some interesting things happen over the past 24 hours. And I had a hard time sleeping last night, but that's okay. But sometimes in life, you've got to take an L, man. You absolutely have to. It's not about really winning all the time. I used to play football in my younger days, and I had a coach that would tell me, and I think he stole it from Bill Parcells. I've been trying to find the clip. I remember Bill Parcells saying it in a documentary they did of him. But my old football coach used to say, it's always hardest to coach you guys after we win a game against a shitty team, because you guys think you did all the right things, but it's just that the wrong team did all the wrong things to put you guys in the right place. Thinking back on it, that was when I was in my 20s. But sometimes in life, you really have to look back, and you have to look at all the L's you've taken. I bet if you look back at those L's, a lot of times you didn't look at the lesson. You just got pissed off that you took that L when you really shouldn't have. Sometimes you were just that shitty person that did that shitty thing to put an even shittier person in the right position to take what was supposed to be yours. And you really look back on it. I can remember, if you put it in relevance to jobs, I can remember I worked for a cellular company when I wanted to get into training. I really wanted to. I wanted to become a data trainer. I was good at what I did. I knew PDAs, which would eventually become smartphones. This was back in the early 2000s. I was so good at what I did, I even had the data trainer for the company, the head, of data development for the Northeast region, telling me, listen, I really want you on my training team because you're good. You're good at selling. You're good at what you do. Next job that comes up is going to be about a month or so. I want you to put in for it. My district manager put my application at the bottom of the stack, took me over to Panera Bread, and we had lunch, and she was like, listen, I put your resume back at the bottom of that stack because I can't lose you. Yet I need you to run this location because you're good at what you do. And I said, you know what? That's a good heart-to-heart. I'll take it. You know, she kind of gassed me up a little bit. She souped me up a little bit. So I said, that's okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. I understand. Even though in my heart, it's not what I wanted. I took that L. There was no lesson to be learned there. I just took that L. I ate that shit. Would you believe, lo and behold, they ended up closing down not only my location, but all locations like mine. And they tried to bust me down to a sales rep. 2 positions down from what I was. Simply because they had no room for me at my current position that I had at the time. I took that L. I had 2 choices at that point. Take that sales rep position or walk away from the job with no other job in sight. So I doubled down on myself. I bet on myself, and I said, you know what? I'm out. I'm leaving. I left that job, and I learned more about myself in the 2.5 years that I had off than I would have had I stayed in that job. I had planned to make that job my career. My life's mission was to be a sales rep or a sales manager and keep making that money and become a trainer, become corporate. That was my mission. That's what I wanted to do. But instead, I became a basketball coach, parlayed that into being a football coach, parlayed that into becoming a rec league coordinator and working with a lot of kids in the city that I live in. Put in a lot of work, time, and development. I spent a lot of time with a lot of kids, and I've been around a lot of kids, and I've helped a lot of kids, tried to understand a lot of kids and mentor a lot of kids. And it hurt my heart to lose that job because I poured a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I missed a lot of things with my son over the years for that job, and that was okay. I took that L. Sometimes you have to take those L's. You parlay that into interpersonal relationships. There's so many people that I've been friends with over the years that I'd spent a lot of time with. I'd done a lot of things for, and then they turn their back on you unexpectedly, and you end up taking that L. They do things to you, they stab you in the back, and you don't quite expect it. I can think about, I've talked about my friend Tony Scanzani, right? We got in an argument many years ago. I believe it was 2013. Yeah, it was around 2013. We got in an argument. He hung up on me, and I didn't talk to him for 6 years. And the next time I spoke to him, I thought angry thoughts about him, got angry, mad. It was like, how could he let 10 years of friendship go over something that was petty and whatever? We were just having a normal conversation. He hung up on me. And next phone call I got was from his wife. I was best man at his wedding. Got a phone call from his wife that he died. Come to find out, that argument that we had was just that he had bad reception. He didn't hang up on me. He thought I hung up on him. So he thought I was angry with him. When I reached out to talk to him at his house that he moved into, he got bad reception. So it sounded like, how reception goes. Goes straight to voicemail. And he thought I just never called him because I was pissed off. And I'm not one to leave voicemails. I don't like leaving voicemails. So I took that out. Next time I saw him, I saw a picture of him. He was cremated. So that was the next time I saw him. I took that out. When you take L's in life, as long as you don't lose that lesson, you'll be okay. Like when you play football. I said when I started this video that I had a coach that said it's always hardest to coach you guys when you win a football game against a shitty team, because they put you in, makes it look like you're in the best position to win the game when they put themselves in the shittiest position. But it's like when you play football and you lose, you go back and you watch film of yourself, you watch football of the other team so that you can get better, so you can learn from your mistakes. That's how everything is supposed to work. You go back and you watch film. When you take a loss, you're supposed to go back and reflect on everything that's happened so that you can ask yourself, where did I go wrong? What did I do that maybe I could have done differently so that I didn't end up in that position? What can I do so that I don't end up in that position again? So that that doesn't happen to me again. What if you go through a job where, you've been out of work for so long, and then you get into another job, and then all of a sudden it's just not the job you thought it was gonna be. So you end up leaving that same job, or that same job decides that you're not right for that job, so they end up letting you go. What do? Do you get angry, or do you go 10 toes down and just get your nose to the grindstone again? Do you start hating life and say, you know what, I'm done, I quit. I give up on trying to do anything to better myself. What do? You always got to stay 10 toes down. The best thing you can do is start inside of yourself and then work outward. You have to find a way to dig down deep and say, all right, what is it about this L? I have to start from the inside and work outward. Figure out what I could have done differently and then move outward. And figure it out from there. There are so many people that are hurting right now for various reasons. And I know in my life, I've taken so many different L's for so many different reasons. And a lot of them are my own. Where, that gut feeling that tells you that, wow, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably shouldn't have said that. I probably shouldn't have went there. I went to a place where I had no business going, and I ended up getting hurt. As a child, I was told, don't touch that. That's too hot. And I touched it anyway. And then I got burned. I knew I was going to get burned. I heard a prayer the other day, speaking of, taking those L's. I heard a prayer the other day that DMX did on the Breakfast Club, where he said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And, that's from the Bible, but the Bible didn't say that there wouldn't be any weapons. Only that any weapon formed against you will not prosper. The Bible never said what the weapon was, just said that any weapon that is formed will not prosper. So it doesn't mean that there won't be any weapons. It does not mean that they will not come for you. It just means that no weapon formed against you shall not prosper. All those L's that you take, you have to take the lesson from it and learn, because if you keep putting yourself in those situations, you are going to get burned eventually. See, no one is going to go through life undefeated. That's the thing that people don't understand as well. That's why I'm saying you have to take the lesson, because you can't keep rushing into battle throughout your whole life foolhardy and not expect to get hit, not expect to never get touched. That's the problem. There's not enough money in this world that can keep you from getting touched and taking a loss. Doesn't happen. Even Mike Tyson was defeated at some point. Conor McGregor was defeated at some point. Floyd Mayweather, yeah, he's undefeated right now, but I can assure you that he cherry-picked his opponents a lot. I mean, we can debate that all day, but I mean, even still, in life, in the grand scheme of things, we're not just talking about a sport. We're talking about overall, every day, 365, 24/7. You're not going to win every argument. You're not going to always come out on top. You're going to lose once in a while. And every once in a while, 1 out of 10 of those losses is going to be significant and catastrophic, right? Then how you bounce back from that is going to make all the difference. But what you can't do is take that L and lay down on it. You have to look at it and say, okay, let me analyze it. Let me work on this. Let me figure out what I can do to not end up here again. Because unfortunately, if you sit back and you do nothing and you lay there and it becomes an excuse rather than a lesson. Because if you take it and you use it as an excuse, then what happens is you become complacent in your negativity. And then you find yourself becoming something that you're not. And then you find yourself becoming that person that's always going to social media pretending that you're someone that you're not. And people that know you know who you are, and they're like, who the fuck is this person? I have no fucking idea who that is. But you're gonna have to take it out every once in a while. That's part of life. How you respond to that loss determines how human you are. So this has been another edition of Driving with Dub. I wish you the best Friday, and I hope that you go into this weekend not with the intention of partying and celebration, but I hope you go into this weekend with the intention of reverence and intending to understand how far you've come, but also with humility and understanding in how far you have yet to go. Because in the time and age we live in, how bad 2020 was and how mediocre 2021 has started off, we still have a ways to go. I wish you the best rest of your day. Foundationally, I hope you started off in a good place of peace. Love and light, my friends.